Folks, gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here on a Saturday. It's actually a pretty nice day. I'm bored. I don't really have anything to do. Thought I don't know, go on a little bit of a hunt around. But I really don't do the whole, garage sale thing or anything. So I figured I'd go to a few different game stores, and I decided to come by the family thrift store, even though I never find anything here anymore. But it's kind of a trip down memory lane, so we'll roll in. We're actually going to try to film a little bit in the stores today and see if we find anything. So, alright, we'll go on in. TV poker, alright. Wii Fit board. DVD players, computer monitors out the ass. Hey, VCRs. I said I needed to get a new VCR, but I don't really know how much I want to pay for one. I guess I could see how much these are. That one's only $7. That one's only $5. I really like Philips more than, actually this looks a lot like mine that I already have, so, I don't know, $5 ain't too bad. Depends on if it works or not really, doesn't it? There's nothing really down here. Humidifiers, a couple karaoke machines. Not a lot of... Okay, so all they had in there at the thrift store was a bunch of sports games. One broke-ass looking Xbox 360 that I didn't even see a price on, but wasn't going to ask because the friggin' door on the CD tray was friggin' broke off on the front anyway, or falling off. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy that 360. I can go to the pawn shop and find one in way better shape for probably cheaper than they want there. So, I didn't find anything there really of note. I mean, I did buy one of those VCRs, one of the $5 ones. I bought the Philips Magnavox one because I've always had good luck with Philips stuff. It usually seems to, Sony stuff, I've had it crap out on me over the years, and I just don't really care for it. Other than the PlayStation. I'll swear by the PlayStation, but anything else Sony that I've had that's electronics is just crapped out. I had a radio home radio system, like a tuner thing. It died in like 4 or 5 months, like right after the warranty ran out. I had a car stereo that the face got all fucked up on, and then I sent it back on warranty. It just got messed up because of, I don't know, heat or cold, I don't know. The display just went bonkers. And then they sent me a new one. Well, not a new one, but a refurbed one or whatever, and then pretty much the same shit happened to it eventually, you know. So it was just like, there was something else that I had that was Sony that died on me. My friend had, you know, my ex-roommate Jake had a Sony TV, and like after a year or two, the color in it started getting all weird and purple and green and shit on the sides. And I don't know. I always had good luck with Magnavox stuff, and then when they merged with Philips Magnavox stuff, so I usually buy that. But I mean, it was a $5 VCR. I mean, I'm assuming I'm gonna have to take the top of it and clean the head on it or whatever with some alcohol solution and some Q-tips. I mean, I do have a couple of VHS head cleaning deals, but it's almost better just to take it apart, blow it out with some canned air, and you know, clean it by hand with some Q-tips than sit there and use one of those. So the next place we're going is to the old Resale Electronics over there. I don't know why. There are a couple of PS3 games that I want that I don't know whether they have or not because I haven't been in there in a while, but they closed the store out in Lee Summit, so there's only this one Resale Electronics anymore. But because of that, all their stock is at this one freaking store, so it's packed full of shit, but shit being the operative word. So we'll go in and look around, we'll film for a second, and then you know, we'll go over to the pawn shop or something, and then we'll decide what we want to do. I kind of wanted to go to a couple of Gamestops. I was recently going through my PS3 collection because I had took that $40 PS3 I bought and put a terabyte hard drive in, and I think I might have said that, but I'd been going online and updating all of, you know, putting my games in and updating them all to the most current versions and stuff. And I noticed how many discs I actually have that are like, I don't know if I got them at the Thrift Store or Gamestop or vintage stock, who knows. But there's probably a good 8 or 10 games that have the normal case but the greatest hits game inside. Infamous, Dead Space, something else. I mean, there's some that I just recently got that they did the same thing. They gave me the damn greatest hits with the regular case. And I always find that frustrating because I'm like, does that mean you put the regular game in the greatest hits case and gave it to somebody else? Yeah, probably. Guess how else would it have gotten fucked up, you know? I don't know. Last time I went into GameStop over here, they were having a 3 for $15 deal, and I'll show those games in this video. But I didn't even really read it because I didn't plan on getting 3 games, but I bought 3 games. I bought 2 and went up to the counter, and he goes, you know, if you go get another one, even if it's up to $10 value, you get it for $5. And I'm like, oh yeah? And I go, well, let me go look. And I found one, and I came back, and he got the games together, and you know, he wasn't super busy in there. It wasn't like he was slammed. He was the only guy in there. There's like one other family in there and then me, and he got my stuff together. Nice guy, you know, nice enough. And then I go to leave, and I get out to the car, and I open the game, and I open the games up, and I look at it, and it says, you know, it's the 3rd one, not the 4th one. And I had already kind of left and was like just glancing at a stoplight, so I had to turn back around and go back there and to go in and go, I don't think you put the right game in here. And he goes, I saw when you were walking up with the case, I started wondering if I gave you the wrong game. And I was like, well, yeah, why would I be coming back in with it? You know, but he was like, oh, sorry about that, man. He goes, this is the game of the year or whatever, and I saw that other one. I just thought it was the other one. And I'm like, no big deal. But you can see where shit like that happens, where they give away the wrong game or something, and people just don't want to fucking go back, you know? So they're like, screw it. And that's how shit gets messed up. But, you know, I mean, he did apologize, and it wasn't a big deal because I was still kind of in the same general area. It wasn't like I had to double back 15 miles or something. So, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it's just annoying. So here we are at Resale. We're going to cruise in and just look around. I'm gonna look at their PS3 games. I don't really have a high hopes of a lot of anything today, but we're trying. We're trying to find some shit. It's not gonna break the bank, you know. That's the real key. Not fucking blowing your wad. Sorry folks, I gotta hike up my pants. There we go. Alrighty. Fun for the whole family. Yeah, well, I'm gonna kill this for this store. Don't see a whole lot. Anywho. Alright, folks, I picked up a PS3 title. I know you're riveted to know what it is, but I'll hold it for the reveal, the end part where we sit down and discuss what in the hell we bought and why the hell we bought it. It's usually because it was cheap and I didn't have it. That's usually why I bought it. I guess we'll go to this pawn shop and then I don't know. I need to figure out, I've been keeping track of on my eBay save list, been keeping track of PS3 titles I still want to pick up. The problem is I don't, once I save search them, I don't remember it in my brain, you know, so I'm not sure. There's only like a couple that I really know that I'd like. So we're gonna go into this pawn shop. I don't know if I'm gonna film in here. I always feel weird filming in the pawn shop. Like maybe they're a little more security conscious or something. So we might though. So hold on and we'll go in. Alright folks, next stop is Gamestop. We're gonna go to this Gamestop over here off, not the one by my work, but it's kind of over by the mall that's still here. You know, all these malls are going under, and this one I think is struggling, but it's still, you know, functional. I don't know how many anchor stores it has or whatever, but inside there's a GameStop inside it, which is funny because there's one right across the street. So there's two GameStops within like a mile of each other right here. So I figured I'd go to the one across the street first and then go into the mall. I guess I'll try to film a little bit in the mall, which is over here to the right. It's hard to see it. Well, you can kind of see it through the trees there. I'm hoping it's not, I kind of am hoping it is dead, so I don't have to spend a lot of time fighting through people there, but there she is. So anyway, we're gonna go in there in a minute, but we're gonna go over to this freestanding GameStop first, which is actually right over here next to the Nail Max salon or whatever it is. So, and then there's a movie theater over here, which is, I hadn't been to in a long time, but I went there to see Avengers Endgame, and it's hard to see around those people. Yeah, they had revamped the whole inside and put in these big, you know, cushy chairs and shit. Go, it's not a stop. Go, you're not supposed to stop here. There's no stop sign. You're supposed to go in and people stop there anyway. Like, I hate people. They're so people-ish. So here's GameStop. We're gonna go in if we can find a frickin' parking spot and see what they got. Yeah, okay. So this parking lot is fucking packed. Completely. There's nowhere to park. Great. I guess I can park over here and walk a few steps. I doubt it'll kill me, so we'll park over here. Alright, there's a Five Below over there and freaking Best Buy who wanna, I haven't, you know, I go to Best Buy every once in a while, but it's rare. I used to go there all the time and buy DVDs and stuff, but I just don't go there very much anymore. There's not one very convenient to me. This is the closest one, and I just don't really have a lot of desire to go there unless there's something brand new that I really want. Last 2 times, the only reason I've gone to GameStop was because they had a Steelbook exclusive to Best Buy thing that I, you know, Blu-ray or something that I wanted, you know, so that's why I went there, like Deadpool 2 or Ash vs. Evil Dead or something. So let's go into the GameStop. So yeah, all right, we'll see you inside. Alright folks, so I didn't film inside that GameStop because I had one of those overly aggressive GameStop employees that wanted to follow me around for half my visit and ask me what games I play and what systems I play, and you know, I told him I was just looking and he still followed me around for 5 minutes, so I don't know. I just got in there and looked real quick and saw one immediately. I think I might have paid a little more than I needed to on it, but I've been wanting it for a while. I had got it on the 360, but been wanting it on the PS3. And then I bought one 360 game kind of on a whim because it was $3. And I don't know if it's any good or not, but I seem to remember the name of it. So yeah, so we're gonna cruise into the mall, the Independence Center over there, and go to that GameStop, and then I think we're about done with our shopping for the day. I've spent about, I don't know, about $35 so far total. So I think I spent, well, I spent 7 just on video game stuff. I probably spent I don't know, maybe 30, right around. And then I bought a VCR and a freaking lens cleaner, CD lens cleaner thing. Man, it's fucking hot in here. So fucking running. All right, so one more stop. Well, maybe 2. There's one more pawn shop that I was gonna go to. So we're gonna go over to the mall, and then we'll go to the mall, and then we'll go maybe to that shoppy, the pawn shoppy, and then we'll call it a trip. I don't really have a lot of money to be spending anyway. I don't know why I'm even out doing this, but it's because normalcy helps regulate sanity. You know, and this is something that I like to do, so it, you know, makes you feel more in better spirits, I guess. I'm not in bad spirits, but I'm just up in the air. It turns out I did get my biopsy appointment scheduled finally for them to do this biopsy, and hopefully we'll find out that it's not too bad, even if it's cirrhosis, that it's, you know, what we can deal with. You know, from what I understand, you know, they monitor it in the beginning anyway, and then they see how, you know, it changes over time. So, you know, it could get worse over the years, or, you know, I don't think it's going to get a whole lot better from the way it sounds, but from the way it sounds, you can also kind of stop it from getting worse if you really are diligent about certain things, which, you know, it's been a couple of weeks and my stomach's been feeling a little better, so suddenly I'm like, you know, not thinking about, I mean, I have been, but yet, like last night, my thoughts strayed to wanting pizza, you know, and I haven't eaten pizza in a while. Been trying to stay away from it, really. There's not a lot on the surface of pizza that's bad. You're not supposed to eat refined, bleached flour and shit like that. I mean, but really you shouldn't anyway. I mean, regardless of whether or not you have a liver problem, but You're supposed to eat more multigrain stuff, but the tomato, all in all, is not bad for you. The cheese isn't really bad for you. It's the, you know, all the greasy meat and shit that you put on there. But if you had a veggie pizza or put some chicken on it or something, you know, it might not be too bad. I like a good chicken pizza. I've had it before. So, yeah. I mean, there are ways to have those things without going nutty, you know, and feeling like you're depriving yourself, or that you gotta load up the meat lovers pizza, the extra grease, you know. So, I don't know, but, you know, that's what I'm saying. My thoughts have been like, man, I could really go for a slice or go for this. But then, you know, if I order a pizza by myself, I got a whole fucking pizza and I only need to eat 2 or 3 pieces, you know. I mean, it's just like, and I don't want to eat it forever. It's just, I don't know. I basically stayed my willpower and was able to just not get pizza. I ended up eating some scrambled eggs and toast instead, you know, which, you know, who knows if that's better or not. But yeah, I mean, it is. It's multigrain bread and, you know, olive oil, butter, margarine spread, and fucking, you know, that type of stuff. So, oh yeah, the mall, how fun. Parking's not horrible, but it's not. If I tried to go in on the other side instead of going in through this entrance, the parking would be a lot harder to find a good spot. Plus, this entrance is actually closer to the GameStop. So we're gonna go in. I'm gonna, I don't know, I guess film while I'm walking up to the store or the mall or whatever the fuck it is. I'll leave my sunglasses in the car so I'm not carting those around or wearing them and looking even more suspicious, you know. So. I don't know if I'll really find anything out here anyway, but, you know, malls are a dying breed. I mean, evidently, you know, there's still Macys, you know, still here, and Dillards is still here, you know, but those are, I think JCPenney's still here too, but I heard this mall is struggling, and it's really one of the last ones around here, so I'd hate to see it completely go away, because it's been here my whole life, you know, that I remember living in Independence. It's been here. So, Independence Center. We might cruise around in here for a second, but if I do, I'll probably just walk around in the main place. I doubt I go in a lot of stores. Might go into Hot Topic just to look at the fucking pops, even though I don't really buy those anymore. So, let's get in here.
I just stopped by the toy.
See, the GameStop is like right there. Hot Topics over there. I'll go there first. Oh no, it's pretty busy. I mean, really. Food court down there. You know, it's 3 levels, so.
Yeah, compared to some of those Dead Mall videos I've seen, this looks freaking hopping. It is Saturday though. Hot Topic. They moved a bunch of stuff around in here, so I really don't know where stuff is. Looks like they moved other t-shirts and shit back here in the corner. All the pops used to be against this one wall. Now they're over here. Body jewelry. Never seen this one. I forgot this mall has a indoor carousel. And kind of a play area for the kids and stuff. Down there. A lot of kitties. Well, it's still pretty warm outside, so it makes sense that they would. But the arcade used to be up in that corner up there, but it ain't there no more. Panda Express, Charlie's Philly cheesesteaks, Dillards, Dick's Sporting Goods, Sears, that's the other one. I don't know how much longer they'll be in business. Smells like a mix of pizza and Cinnabon. I don't know if there's one of those Cinnabon places around here. That's what it smells like though, pizza and cinnamon. The Buckle. Asian Gifts. Looks like it's got a bunch of swords in there. Maybe we ought to go in and look. There's a Link shield on the wall there.
Yeah, if you don't watch the anime, the One Piece.
I've watched
Yeah, it's more popular. It's popcorn's there and caps it down.
Never needs some batarangs.
Hey, you know, man.
You never know. Exactly.
That one, beach.
These are beach umbrella suits.
Pretty sweet stuff. I don't really want to price any of it. Some Game of Thrones banners. Pretty cool. Statues. I think they're just, they're not any, like, gaming specific or anything. Pretty cool shit, though. I like that one.
Is it a birthday or congratulations or standard? It's the birthday? Happy birthday on it? Does that work? The military heroes would probably be down to help them find jobs. If you would like to, it's got the top one, I think is $1, the middle one is $5. Yeah, they have a check mark. You do a $1, add it there. Yep, we can get started.
There's a Rainbow Six Siege day, don't you see that?
I'm down for the dog. Thanks, guys.
I sent the clear stuff in here.
Okay. Are you off mic?
Yes.
Where do they say all the time? That's one of the things. When he first shows up, what does it say?
Also, gotta be stopped.
Well, to stop Thanos, the ultimate baddie, you need to assemble your ultimate team, right? And you can do that because there is a huge cast of the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, the X-Men, and there's a whole lot more characters.
You're ride the first time. You took those ocean, so I was riding it. So I've got
More abilities you can unlock as you level up, and you can amplify their abilities by synergizing.
The Harley Quinn statue, the one they have with her in the regular costume, I really want it, but it's like $50. But online, it's more than $50 to get it on eBay with the shipping and everything. So I mean, really, it's not bad. Alright folks, so we made it out of the Independence Center. I did not buy anything there. The Gamestop didn't have that many games in it. I mean, aside from new stuff. I mean like, you can tell they don't get a lot of trade-ins or anything because it's inside the mall. So they didn't have a lot of like used stuff really. So I didn't really see anything, but that Asian gift store was kind of cool with all the swords and stuff. And Hot Topic, like I was saying, they're supposed to be coming out with a new Elvira pop like next month that I want to get, but other than that, I mean, I've kind of quit buying pops on the reg, so to speak. So I don't know where we parked. It's down this way somewhere. And there we are. I was starting to wonder. So back to the old car. Might go by the one more pawn shop, but I think the camera's about dead, so I don't know if I'm going to film in the next one or not. And then we'll do a little pickup-y thing. I don't know if you can see my reflection in the window. Yeah, it looks like you can. Hi. Hi. So, anyway. It's been a heck of a day so far. Like I said, my one thing that I'm most excited about is probably the thing I paid the most for. Come on, baby. This friggin' air conditioner on. So, really, I mean, I did pick up one of the games that I've been wanting for a while, and then the other game that I bought with it was kind of a whim, and then I did buy one at Resale Electronics, but it was also a whim. So basically picked up 3, and then we'll see about going to somewhere else, to this pawn shop, but 3 items, and then we got a few from at the house from another Gamestop trip from about, well, I think it was last weekend maybe, that I didn't show. The one where the guy put the wrong game in my case. So yeah, I'll show those when we get to that. And I know this is exciting, but I know some of you had been the switch in my air conditioner kind of, so when I hit certain bumps, sometimes it'll shut off for a second until I jiggle the switch. See, but look at these parking lots over on this side are just freaking jammed. Because if you go over to that far parking lot where I went to, it's the easiest to get in. Because for some reason they all want to go to right here and right around to the front, and these 2 spots when there's like 8 entrances, they want to go to 2 entrances in the whole freaking thing, and it's like a madhouse. So it's just easier to do what I did, especially considering the GameStop and Hot Topic are right there, and those are usually the only 2 reasons I would even go out there for the most part. Like I said, I don't need to get into collecting swords or link shields or any shit like that. I mean, those were cool, and I liked seeing them, but I do not need to start buying stuff like that. So, but it was interesting. I do like a lot of those statues and stuff, but the only statue I really want is that Harley Quinn GameStop exclusive DC gallery
one. Actually, both of those that were up there are GameStop exclusives, but I want the one where she's in her original costume, the animated series type of costume, with her face painted and stuff. I don't want the other one, which is like more of a you know, video game, Batman Arkham City or something, you know, styled Harley, which I like as well, but not enough to. I'd rather buy the other one for $50 than that one. Let me put it this way: I'd pay $50 for the one. I don't know that I would pay $50 for the other one. I would maybe pay $30 maybe. I'm kicking around buying the one because I don't have a lot of extra cash, but you know, I'd hate for it to get. But I know 2 GameStops that have one, so I mean, if one of them sold it, I guess I could quickly rush over to the other one and see if they sold it, and then if I still wanted it that bad, I could pick it up. But anyway, like I said, I didn't plan on doing a big recap here, so I'm going to end this, and we'll see at the house. I don't think I'm going to film in the next pawn shop. All right, folks. So I didn't end up going to that other pawn shop at all. After I got out of the mall, I just had kind of had my fill, because I'd been to 5 different places at that point. I'd been to the mall, Independence Center, with the GameStop out there that didn't really have anything. And, you know, I mean, they had stuff, but I mean, they didn't have a lot of used game selection. And the other thing I can attribute that to is how many people are going to take their used games out to the Independence Center and cart them in there to exchange them. They're probably not going to go out to that location. They're probably going to go to some of the other ones. So, because I can think of three for sure in Independence area, and then there's one I work, and then 2 I went to, and then there's one in Liberty that I know where it is. There's one in Blue Springs, I think. I'm pretty sure there is, but I haven't been there in a long time. And I think even Lee Summit has one, but I've never been out there to the Lee Summit one. I'm not even sure if Lee Summit does, so don't quote me on that one. Not that any of you, the majority of you probably aren't local to me, so you probably are like, it doesn't matter to me anyway. So, but I shot a ton of footage. Not a ton, but probably over a half hour of stuff of just being out and about. I'm going to trim down, well, you saw it. I trimmed down some of the Independence Center walk around stuff because it was really shaky, and it was like 25 minutes long, just that piece from me leaving the GameStop and then going to the mall and then walking around in there and then coming out. So I decided to trim that down a hair. Didn't find a whole lot. I really should start maybe going to garage sales. I would definitely go if somebody else wanted to go and was like, hey, let's go garage selling on Saturday, and we'll get up and we'll go early, and I'd be all into it. But just going by myself, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Not that much. I mean, when I was buying stuff a lot hot and heavy, it was easier to find the stuff at these used game shops, and it wasn't quite as outrageously priced. You're talking 10 years ago. It seems like in the last, sorry, I got my hand in front of the camera and everything. But it just seems like in the last 10 years or so, everything's just slowly, incrementally gotten crazy. So it's not as fun to really go out and hunt around. Like I went into that thrift store, and sorry, I feel like something's coming out of my nose there. I went over to that thrift store, and all they had in there were a bunch of sports titles, as far as I could tell, and a busted-ass 360, and that was it. They had some, like, video poker thing toward the back that was just some little, like, plug-and-play thing, and then that was it. I mean, as far as video game stuff, and I didn't even want to know what they wanted for that 360, because I've seen good 360s at the pawn shop. You know, the Slims with a 150 gig hard drive in them for like $80, so I'm not going to pay whatever the thrift store wants. And they came with a controller and stuff. That friggin' one that was there was definitely, it might have been a Jasper though. I mean, it was hard for me to tell. The Jasper being the pin set inside it. That was the last pin set that came out before the Slim, and it was supposed to alleviate a lot of the red ringing and stuff. And the only way you could really tell was the front of the CD tray door, that little
you know, that slides out. That piece on the older models was silver, and on the Jasper one it was still same flat white that the rest of the system was. And something makes me think maybe it was, but it was kind of broke looking, and I was like, I'm not even interested. So I'd rather just go pick up one of the Slims at the pawn shop. And they actually had a PS2, like, what, I don't know, the first model, Model 1, the big chunky model. I was trying to think of the word, chunky model. With 2 controllers that were brand name controllers and the RF and everything at the pawn shop for $20. And I almost bought it. But the thing was, I have 2 chunky PS2s already and 2 Slims. And I was like, the only reason I even considered buying it was because it had all name brand controllers and stuff with it. And it's like super easy to set that up for a mod. Luckily, Big Daddy Darth, he doesn't post that much anymore, but his name used to be Creeboy, and he hooked me up with the mod. It's all you got to do is put it onto a little flash card, one of the memory cards that you plug in there. But it's some stuff you just copy from the one mod card to the other, and when you stick it in the second memory card 2 slot and start your system up, it automatically boots into the mod. So that's all you have to do if you have access to that thing. And luckily Dan gave it to me because I was trying to figure out how to mod it, you know, without that, and it was kind of a pain in the ass. But all you need other than that is the network adapter that hooks to the back and a hard drive that works with that system. And you can rip games to it or load ROMs directly to it off of your old computer. You got to have an old computer that's got a 72 pin, I don't know if it's 72 pin, but one of those old flat wide tape, you know, plug-ins on the back, kind of like the Xbox. It can't be the newer ones that just have the little bitty, you know, plug-in thing like that. But yeah, I almost bought it for my cousin, you know, because I was like, well, but then we'd have to get, because I don't have an extra network adapter and I don't have an extra hard drive for that right now. Those would probably run, the network adapter is about $8 to $12 depending. I've seen them dirt cheap actually at Vintage Stock. I saw them for little or nothing because there's really not a lot big use for them other than using it for this mod now, because the PlayStation Network doesn't have any PS2 servers active anymore. I don't think. I think they just recently killed the last of those. So basically it's useless unless you're using it for the mod. So you can pick them up fairly cheap, and then, you know, a hard drive, probably you know, you probably can only get about 100, 200 gig hard drive, but, you know, you can get one of those for $30, $40. So, you know, maybe about $50 and then $20 for the system. So it'd be about $70. But it's worth it for some of those games, like Rule of Rose and Akami, and there's some other ones that are like really expensive. Haunting Ground. Some of those games are like outrageous, and if you just want to play them, I mean, you might be able to find them on the PlayStation Network, but I don't think all of those you can. And so the only reason I wanted it, because those games are hundreds of dollars, and I'm not going to pay for them, but I wanted to play them. So I was like, well, I guess I'll try to do the mod so I can put the ROMs on there. And luckily I was able, with Dan's help, Freeboy, aka Big Daddy Darth, able to get that to work. But we kind of got off track there. Anyway, Thrift Store, you saw the footage, didn't have a lot of stuff. I did pick up a VCR. I figured I'd go ahead and show it, the big grand reveal of an old-timey video conveyance. But I also picked up one of these just regular old Macys CD lens cleaner. It's basically a CD lens cleaner. It's not like a DVD. So you can stick this in like your older systems, like your 3DO or your Sega CD or whatever, and clean them with this, because those aren't DVD-based systems. Also, probably your Dreamcast
you could probably, I think, if it has an audio option, you open up an audio CD, then you should be able to use this. So it was like $1, and I looked at it's got those little brushes on there, but I looked at it, and they all were still in good shape, the little bristles on there, so I went ahead and paid $1 for this, just so I could use it on my older systems that I can't use a DVD lens cleaner on. And then here's the VCR. I did pick up the Philips Magnavox one. I think I talked about that in the car. It was $5. It was pretty dingy. I wiped it off really well, and I did take the top off of it, clean the head and stuff, and then put it back together. At first, when I stuck a tape in there, it seemed like it didn't want to fast forward or rewind the tape, but I think it might just be because those tapes are so damn old. Because eventually, after I kind of Fonzied it a few times, it seemed like it would start. I'm just wondering if those tapes were kind of, you know, stuck because they were so old or whatever. But I found a couple of tapes with some old ass MTV stuff on it from like the early 90s and stuff. I can't find a couple of the videotapes that I wanted to really look at because I think I recorded some NES playthrough, maybe some Wizards and Warriors and Werewolf on some videotapes, and I know they're around here somewhere, but I don't see them offhand. So if I can find those, I'm gonna like look at it and probably I don't know. There's no real good way to transfer that footage, but it would be like some 30-year-old Sandamtod video game playing. So anyway, that VCR, it does work. I happen to have, even though it's grungy as shit and I need to clean it, a universal Philips Magnavox remote. That's a universal one that works for TVs, VCRs, you know, satellite, whatever. And you can set them up here at the top to which one. So I programmed this, and it does work with this VCR. So I was able to at least use the play and fast forward and stop. But I can't figure out how to open the menu, so I can't set the clock or anything with it. And it didn't come with a remote. It's not really a big deal. I just bought it for playback purposes anyway. So, and I do have another one that's in good shape. It's in fairly good shape. That was mine from when back when I had, before I had a DVD player even. So, all right, moving on. Before we get started here, I'll go ahead and I'm going to show the, I'm talking a mile a minute. I'll show my PlayStation 3. You're like, why? Well, I put a skin on it, but this is the one that I bought for $40. And I upgraded the hard drive in it to a terabyte. I think you can upgrade them up to 2 terabytes actually, but I put a terabyte in here, and I put every single game in it, updated it. There's like 7 or 8 games on here that are downloaded. That I bought. There's 3 PS1 titles, and then there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 regular PS3 titles that I downloaded. Well, one of them's kind of... I have Resident Evil 4, Catherine, and I recently bought Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It was $3 in their store. It was normally $20, but they were having a deal, and it was $3. So I bought it, and then turns around, and it's a 13 gig download that took like hours to download, but I was like, oh well, you know, you already paid for it. So I finally got it loaded on here. I also have BioShock on here because my BioShock Infinite came with the full BioShock copy on there, so it's loaded on here. Dead Space 2 or Dead Space Extraction is loaded on here. You got to put the Dead Space 2 disc in to play it. I think Flower, Journey, and one of the other games is on here. They were all on the same disc. So I've loaded quite a few games on here. I've stuck all my game discs in and updated the games to the latest versions. I've done the installs, and I still have like 500 gigs free on this thing, but here it is. I put a skin on it. I like this one, but I don't like it at the same time. It's not bad looking, but it got a little crimped up here when I was putting it on, and I don't know. I really like to get a different one, maybe a Harley Quinn one, but I don't want to. You have to. A lot of them you got to order from either the UK or from Japan or some shit, and I don't mind waiting, but the odds of it not getting creased or something on the way over here seem long to me. So anyway, yeah, I put a little money into this. I put the hard drive, I think, was another 40, and then that was 40, so 80, and then the skin was like, I didn't do the controllers or anything, but the skin was like $10, so maybe $90 total. But I'm able to use this system as my primary, and I put the other one back in its original box, and then put that one up. So that's my original. And so that brings us to the games, the rest of the games. Not sure how much longer I have to talk. We're doing alright. I'll try to speed this along because this video is probably super long already. So, I'll show you the games that I got at the GameStop, the 3 for $15 deal, which was not this trip, but I'll go ahead and show them because one of them kind of pertains to the other ones that I picked up. So, I went in there looking around. I knew they had one of these games in there for $5. And so I went ahead and that's why I went in there, because I just went in there to get this for $5. And then I saw they were out at 3 for $15. I just looked around, found another game that was also $5. Went up to the counter, and like I said, he's like, well, you can get another game up to a 10, because it was $10 and under or something, or 3 for $15. He goes, you can get another $10 game for $5 if you look around. So I went back over, and that's the one that I went back over and picked up was the one that he put the wrong game in the case. So we'll start with the one I went in there originally for, and this game was hard as shit. I remember one of the bosses was super hard. I never beat it because that boss pissed me off so bad. It's like a Rancor fight. So anyway, Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. So I have Force Unleashed 1 and 2 for both the Xbox 360 and for the PS3, and actually have Force Unleashed for the PS2, which is a trip because it's a lot different than this version because of the limitations of the system, and it's not as hard as these games were either. But it's complete, and it's not a greatest hits disc in here. The manual's actually in nice shiny shape. Shiny even, you say. Of course, none of the pages are in color. I miss back in the day when they actually put money and thought into the packaging and stuff. But this is why I went in there, and then I was looking around, and I saw this, and this seemed kind of interesting to me. I don't know if there was a first one, but this one was $5. It might suck ass, but who knows. Sometimes you gotta just take a gamble. Like I said, a lot of times, the reason why I picked stuff up is because it was cheap and I didn't have it, and it looked alright to me. So, you can let me know if this game is no good, or if you like it. Same with Force Unleashed 2. I like the Force Unleashed games, but that one especially seemed overly complicated or difficult to me. But anyway, so this game just looked interesting, and I read the back of it, so I went and picked it up. It's a game called The Darkness 2. Now, I don't know if there was a Darkness 1. You would think by that name that there was. I don't know if it was any good or what console it would have came out on or anything. This one said limited edition. It says, it's been 2 years since Jackie Estacado used the power of the darkness, and now it wants back out. A sudden attack by a mysterious and powerful new enemy opens the door for the darkness to re-emerge and sets Jackie on a journey to hell and worse. So, I don't know. It looked kind of like a Devil May Cry. That's why I kind of decided to get it. I think it's based on a comic book series. It says limited edition, like I said, but I don't know what is so limited edition about it. And I don't know, like I said, if there was a first game, but that one was $5. And then, like I said, I went up to the counter, and the guy's like, hey, pick up another game, get another one for $5. And I'm like, all right. Well, let me look. And I went over there. And this is a series that I've heard good things about, but I never really played because it reminded me a lot of Grand Theft Auto, and that's another series that a lot of people love that I just don't really care that much for. But I figured if it was only $5, you know, and this one was like $8 or $9, that I'd go ahead and pick it up. But it's the 4th in the series, and so it's a greatest hits, but I'm not, you know, I'm not overly concerned that it's a greatest hits. I was concerned that he didn't put the right disc in it, but it is Saints Row 4, the National Treasure Edition. Now, I always thought this was a lot like a GTA. I don't know if it really is, but that's the vibe I always got from it when people talked about it. And this is the greatest hit, so I think it's supposed to have the DLC and stuff on it. And like I said, after I went back, he put the right game in the case, and we were golden, Pony Boy. So, but how this leads into the games that I picked up over the weekend is when I was at Resale, I saw this, and it was $5, and still got the sticker on the side. I'm going to peel that off. $5 no holla, as my mom would say, back in the day. But we picked up, actually, the game that he put in there on accident, but I think he put in the fully loaded edition or whatever, but it is Saints Row the 3rd, and it was $5. So now I'm probably going to pick up the other ones just so I have the series, even if I never play them, because they weren't that expensive, and I don't have them. But this one looked interesting. Like I said, there is a version that's got like all the DLC packs on it and stuff, but considering I never really played these anyway, I'm not overly concerned. Let's see how much time we got left. We're pushing it here. I'm going to have to restart this, even though I only got a little bit left to say. So, I'm going to restart it. Alright, so, we left there. We went over to the pawn shop. Didn't see anything there. I did see that PlayStation 2. Like I said, they had a shitload of consoles there. They probably had 7 or 8 PS4s, a couple Pro models, a couple Slims, a couple regular models. They had that PS2. They had 2 or 3 at least Xbox 360s, and a few Xbox Ones. I mean, they had like a 3-tier shelf, and there was probably 5 or 6 consoles on each level. You know, so there was probably 15 or 16 consoles at the pawn shop, which was crazy to me. And then they had some games. There's this one game that I keep seeing for the PS4, and I don't know if it's worth a shit, and I can't think of the full name, but it had Horizon was the first part of the name. And I keep picking it up and looking at it, and I keep putting it back, and I don't know why, except I don't play the PS4 enough right now to really want to pay and not play it, but it looked interesting to me. It was called Horizon something. I'm sure I can find it on eBay, or you can leave a comment, but I'll probably have found out what the name is by then. By the time I read your comment, I'll probably already have looked it up. But I'd be happy to hear it again if y'all do know. Maybe I won't look it up before I see your comment. So then I left, and at first I wasn't going to go to the Gamestops. I was like, screw it, I don't feel like going to the Gamestops. I had to go to the grocery store and other things, and I wasn't going to go. And then I got part of the way over that direction, and I was like, well, screw it. What else do you have going on today? So I went ahead and went in. I'm trying to pick a sticker off of this, sorry. Went in to the first GameStop, walked around. That was the dude that was like overly aggressive. He's like, hey, how you doing today? What can we do for you? I'm like, just looking around. Usually if I say that at that point, they're like, well, let us know if you need anything, and they just leave me alone. But this guy proceeded to go, oh, that's cool. Well, what games are you into?
And then he goes, what system you playing, is what he says. And I go, all of them? And he goes, all of them? What do you mean? And I go, well, I don't know, the PS4, the PS3, the 360, the Wii, you know, I mean, all of them, you know. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, what are you into? And I got to sit there and go, well, you know, and talk about different games. I'm like, well, I really like games like strategy games like XCOM and stuff. I said I like hack and slash stuff too. I don't really like games where you're non-stop though, and can't like take a break for a second, you know, in the middle of it because you're just, you know, getting gang raped. I like games kind of that let you kind of go at your own pace, you know. That's like XCOM. It can be your guy's turn. You don't got to pause the game or anything. You set the controller down, you go take a piss, you go get something to drink, you come back, your guy's still standing there. You know, nothing happened. In the interim, I didn't have to worry that, you know, I was going to get killed or that I paused it in the middle of some heated battle thing and then suddenly I'm coming back and I got to, like, immediately be pounding the buttons before I even hit the unpause. You know, that kind of shit. So finally, the guy's like, I think some more people came in was the deal. There was a couple of other people in there, but I was the newest one. But when the new people came in, he's like, okay, well, if we can help you with anything. And I'm like, sure, man. And he walked off to go bug them. And I was like, fine, you know. And so I looked around, went over the PS3 games, and immediately saw this one. This is one I've been wanting for a while on the PS3. I had it on the 360. I had it bookmarked on my eBay save searches, and I was keeping track of it. And really about what I paid, because I went and deleted my save search later on after I picked this up. About what I paid for it is about the average. I mean, with shipping and stuff that you're going to pay, I paid around $20 for it. But with the game and the shipping and stuff, I probably could have got it maybe $2 or $3 cheaper, but I mean, it's that thrill of finding something when you're out and about that you've been looking for, or not even looking for, you know? You just find something that you're like, man, I wasn't looking for this, but wow. And so I went and picked this up. There was some DLC for this game that I downloaded that was free at the time, and that's why I wanted to get it for the PS3. And then I went back online after I bought this and updated it and saw that there was like a little $2 other little pack that gave you some different weapons and outfits or some shit. So I went ahead and paid for that because it was $2. But the game is, and you're probably like, you've been really hyping this game, is Alice Madness Returns. And it's PS3 one. Like I said, I do have the one on the 360. The thing is, I've never played it on either system. Now I got sticker on my fingers. I haven't played it on either system, but this was the one because I had the DLC packs and stuff that I really wanted to play through other than the 360 one. It's like I saw this Alan Wake like collector's thing, and I don't know if it's got all the DLC or whatever, but it was for the 360. I just never had seen it before. But if it does have all the DLC, I'd be interested in picking it up. But it looked like a big book, like a novel, because wasn't the guy a writer or something? Just to play through that DLC content, if it has it on there, indeed. But so here's the game. It was $20. It was $19. It was $17.99 if you were a Pro Points member or whatever the hell it's called. Pro member price. Yeah, this one still has a sticker on it. And then I really didn't see any other PS3 games. I've got like 8 or 10 that I actually typed up a little piece of paper and put in my wallet to take with me now, so I know which games. Two of the other two Saints Row games, and then there's like 4 or 5 other ones that I'm still on my eye out for. And it seems like I just keep finding more and more games for the PS3 to buy. So I decided to look at the Wii games. They had a copy of Mario Kart there that they wanted like
$28 for it or something. I'm kind of pissed because I loaned Mario Kart Wii to my sister 5 years ago, maybe, and they had it for a long time, and then when I asked her for it back about a year ago or something, she found the case and the instruction book, but not the game. And last time I went over there, I couldn't even find the case. I should have just took the fucking case and the manual when I had it, so I'd only have to buy a loose disc. So now I feel like I got to buy a complete copy of Mario Kart Wii again, and it's getting more and more expensive. When I bought it at the pawn shop, it was like $16 or something, and now it's like $28, $29. So I'm a little annoyed. That's why I don't loan stuff out. And my rule used to be I only loan stuff to family, but anymore it's getting to where it's like I don't even want to loan shit to family. I mean, I don't mind loaning out some Blu-rays to my uncle or something, games to my cousin Joe, but, and my sister, and they've got kids, and, I mean, it's just like, they liked Mario Kart, and they were over here playing it, and I was like, well, you can take it with you, because they had a Wii, so, anywho, yeah, it was $19.99, I still have the receipt for this, evidently. So I decided to look at the 360 games. This one jumped out at me because I remembered the name of it, but I wasn't really sure what it was. And I don't think it got great reviews, but I actually played the first level or so in it, and I thought it was pretty cool. But it was only $3. So I went ahead and picked it up. It's only for Xbox 360 title. But it's a game called In 399 Nights, and you start off playing this girl on the front, and she's leading like a charge of a bunch of guys, like a battle charge, and you got to go and do different things in the midst of the battle. But it was pretty interesting. It was $3, and definitely for $3, I think it was worth it. It's a hack and slash for sure, for the most part, which I'm down with. I like hack and slash. Not a lot of thought involved with hack and slash, so. Anyways, I think we're about done here. I think Mortal Kombat's been playing in the background, and I'm going to sign off. This is a long-ass video. I guarantee it's probably crazy long, but it's the way it is. If you guys watch 10 minutes of it, I'm cool. If you watch any of it, at least that's worth the effort of making it, I suppose, even if you don't like sitting to listen to me drone on forever. So I'm going to sign off, feeling good, looking good, as always, and we'll talk to y'all later. Like, if you have any comments on 99 Nights, the Saints Row games, Alice, Madness Returns, or Street Fighter Cross Tekken, let me know. I'll be happy to read them and respond back in kind. From what I have experienced with them myself. So, alright folks, thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next video. Bye.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?